Shalom, this is Shar Mastrella at Lions Den Camp, located in Jacksonville, Florida. First and foremost, I like to all praise, honor, and glory to the Father and the Son, in their proper true Hebrew tongue. Call Alam La, Yahawah Bashima Shai, Bashem, Harapaka Kodash Ma'amaf. Also, the Master Elders, Apostle GMS, and Double Honor Samad as well. Aharawan Basharala, peace and blessing 1/3, and salutation of Filet. It's going to be a quick little lesson, you know, just going on a house is not supposed to be built with hands, it's built with a spirit, you know. At one point in time, we did have synagogues, we had churches and synagogues, but of course, the synagogues and churches that our people have today are ultimately whorehouses, spitting nothing but vanity and whoredom, man, spiritual fornication, following after many gods, many doctrines, many demons, man, many idols, going into Baal and Lucifer and then Moloch, man, nothing but false idols, false deities and demons. These are what these churches are conducting for our people and putting on our people in today's time. They have 501c3 charters. They have not the law. They say they're under a new covenant. That's what they say that they saved and sanctified. But saved is past tense. Nothing has befall this place to even say that. I guess some people. I think T.I. said something about that, like slavery. It's like slavery was. I don't want to botch it up, but basically slavery was is done, and now it's this year, and it's basically like it's like sent from God that were freed or something. It wasn't T.I., but nonetheless, I mean that's how Jay think. Nonetheless, though, they believe since we're here on this earth that we can buy land, real estate, or we can do this and do that, and we can get money and so on and so forth. That that we're free, that we're everything's good and dandy. Nah, that's because we're in America, an economical system where a society where consumerism and economics and capitalism is key. Supply and demand. So of course, yeah, you can have a business and real estate. You can be all types of rich here. You can probably be rich. In the right way. But most likely someone will be rich in the wrong way, wickedly. Not following after Yahawah. They definitely won't be doing that. They won't be following after Yahawah Bashim Shai. They're gonna be following after only money. Nothing good in the society. So that's what these whorehouses are made of, man. Nothing but hypocrisy and blasphemy. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in the Bible. They're just like this place, America. It says in God we trust, but they don't have no laws implemented to where it even feels like they even love God or love the Bible. They surely don't. Because if that was so, broke rich people would be decapitated. Every time you see him, or an adulterer or adulteress, or a straight up murderer, and the Lord do it, man. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get this in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, for we know that if our earthly houses of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Yahawah, and house not made with hands, eternal in heaven. So there's a house in the heavens, in the Shemayim, not made with hands, and it's not built by our hands. I mean, it's not built with human hands, it's built with a spirit. It says, for in this we groan earnestly, desiring to be clothed upon with our house, which is from heaven, if so that being clothed we shall not be found naked. For that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened, not for we would be unclothed, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life. Now he that have wrought us for the self same thing is Yahawah, who also have given us unto the earnest of the Spirit. Therefore we always that we're always confident knowing that whilst we are at home in the body, we're absent from the Lord. I'm going to go back up to, I think I read too far. Just going into, I'll say verse 1, actually. Shalakia, but that was 2 Corinthians chapter 5:1. I'm gonna just read one from the top. You know, that was the point. Shalakia. It says, "For we know that if our earthly house of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of Yahawah, in house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. For in this we groan earnestly, desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven." So come, and that was the point right there. Shalakia. Nonetheless, yeah, we are of the Most High Yahweh Shemashah, and you know we belong to Shemaiah, man. We earnestly we groan for the kingdom and to be with the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, and that's where our house is at. You know, our riches should be there too. You know, our hearts. You know, we're absent from the Lord, and of course that's why we groan earnestly. We're in these fleshy chains of darkness, and we pray and sigh and cry out to the Father, our Father, that we can be saved from this place. You know, you got to do the works. You know, if you're a man, you know, test schools, you got to testify, man. You go on the street corners, you know, and tell your people about this place being destroyed, you know, by thermonuclear destruction, and what his name is. You know, if thou can't tell, man, what's his name and his son's name? If thou can tell, the name of the Father is being Yahawah, and the Son's name is Yahawah. You know, so that one alone lesson, it's like you had to read, you know, too much down, but ultimately it definitely went into the lesson because we do have a building that's of the Most High, and it's not of this world and not built with hands. You know, and ultimately these lessons it do go for people that, you know, say they want a church, they say they want to build, and, you know, go somewhere with this and that. You know, they might just want the festivities. They might just want to feel good. The feel good doctrine. You know, you give $1 to the church and you just feel better. But if you really believe in the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, you know it's not about that. It's about the prophecy. The prophecy is unfolding right in front of our faces. Salvation is nearer than we ever even perceive, than we ever believe. You know, the scriptures is not just that feel good doctrine. It's of lamentation, mourning, and woes, man. Destruction. This what this place is coming to, destruction. So you got to call out the true name of the Father and the Son, you know, and pray and read, you know, open up the book, you know, be blessed. It's Acts chapter 7 verse 48. It says, "Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet." So come, man, these preachers, and that word preacher means synonymous with the word prophet right here. A prophet is, you know, someone that sees something before. Prophecy, pro meaning before, side meaning to see. Someone that sees something before and is given to them by the Most High. All right, so these preachers, they're saying they're preachers or pastors. They have a duty that's bigger than their name. I mean, they have a duty according to their name to be them. You know, but they're not warning our people. They're only just breaking down scriptures, most likely wrong. You know, like something in Psalms, they break that down. They break it down completely wrong somehow. I'm like, that's just self-edification. You know, elevation. I mean, they getting all the milk wrong, man. But nonetheless, this is where ultimately the Lord does not dwell in the temples made with hands. He dwells with his men. I'm get that. This is Matthew chapter 18 verse 20. It says, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." So come, man. If you got the name of Yahweh Shemashah, there is Yahweh. There is Yahweh Shemashah, man. No church is needed. You know, our churches are in heaven. Our temples are in heaven, man. Our houses are in heaven. That's where we're supposed to be right now, man. That's what we're praying for. We're groaning earnestly for to be with Yahweh Shemashah, and he's groaning, and of course the Lord, Yahweh, he's waiting for his chance to strike. He's waiting, man, with righteous indignation in his eyes, you know. This is Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1. It says, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." Just going into, once again, the church, something physical you got to touch, something you got to see, something you got to, hear. You're going to hear it. The thing is, you gotta see what's being built. It's a whole art being built just to save our people. It's ultimately through the power of Yahawah Shai and the spirit of truth, and that's given to his men, and with the correct doctrine and the correct spirit, the correct fruits. So it's be given to his men, his prophets, his servants, that this place is going to be destroyed. They got to wake up to, if you're a so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, speckled bird, by this place being destroyed. It's going to fall this place, MOTB, Jacob's trouble. So you don't have to see the Most High to believe. You don't have to see the church to believe in a church. All you have to do is hear and believe simply and have faith. All right, and this is Matthew chapter 13 and 15. For this people's heart is waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing. Their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears, and should not understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I should heal them. Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your eyes, for they hear. So comment for the people that do see the church, that do see what was being built across the four corners of the earth right now, and that know they don't have to be built by hands. You don't have to be in the air conditioning building with a 501c3 and some beanie weenies in the background. You all you have to do is be a man. Go on the street corners, man. On the main place of concourse, tell about the destruction of this place, about the captivity that's gonna be turned back on these heathens in Esau, the Caucasian race, and the destruction is going to happen to 2/3 of our people. That's going to befall them, being servitude, and of course for our 2/3 of our people, destruction. And that's the most important thing. That's this is the gospel. This is the good news. That we can be saved out of it. Being that mercy, and we're going to supplant the ruler of this world, being Esau, and be the new government. Yahweh is our part of that number. But that was a quick little lesson, just going into a house built with hands, man. Our house is in heaven, Our tabernacle is not of this terrain, not of this world, man. It's in Yahawah Shai, man. Okay, man. Nonetheless, y'all was that was an edifying little lesson. With that, I say shalom.